grid here tonight. Jensen piloting the 5 car. Usually one of the Zimpel brothers in that one, Josh in the 5 car. Tonight they threw Joey Jensen behind the wheel of the number 5. He's start in the final position in heat number 1, the first of 2 tonight for the Wissota Superstocks on a beautiful night to be at the racetrack. Want to remind you, whether you're in the pits or in the grandstands or in trackside turns 1 and 2, you can tune in on 89.1 on the FM dial, 89.1 anywhere on the facility, including trackside parking, which is just about capacity here tonight. As we said, a beautiful night to be at the raceway. Also, if you know somebody at home that wants to watch it on a pay-per-view, pick up Dirt Race Central's live broadcast tonight on watchdrc.tv. WatchDRC.tv. You can watch this one live from the Ogilvie Raceway. Special welcome to all of them watching on that tonight. You're watching the 11th Annual Harvest Cup here at the Ogilvie Raceway in East Central Minnesota, the 3/8 mile high-banked oval. Getting ready to turn things loose tonight. All Wissota classes in action. The first one up for the Superstocks. Heat race number 1, the first of 2. We'll go 4 rows deep, 8 trips around in the heat races for the Superstocks tonight. Brian Riedemann on the stand looks him over, looking for green. Kevin Schmidt and Dylan Kromschroeder get the green, and we're racing. Heat number 1, the first of 2 for the Superstocks is underway. Fans, this is RJ at the Speedway. Let's go racing. At the end of 1, the battle for the front spot going to be won by somebody. In fact, that will be Kromschroeder in car number 9. Kromschroeder with their early race lead off the cushion of turn number 2, going to shoot down the back straightaway, bringing along Kevin Schmidt in the 18, and here comes Dexton Cook in 78K. Cook up to the high side of the raceway, feathered his way out of turn number 4, sitting third with Cody Emmons in 33C, and the Rockstar Miss Quick in the 5th spot. All cars in the Superstocks transferring to the main event here tonight at Ogilvie in the Superstocks. Kromschroeder continues to show the way in this one, the first of 2 heats for the Superstocks. Getting ready to see the crossed flags. This next time by will be your race leader, Kromschroeder, in 9. Flags ready to cross means one thing to everybody here, that we're halfway home with 4 in the books and 4 yet to go. Kromschroeder, your leader, but now Dexton Cook puts the 78K with a nice move off the base of turn 2. Going to jump into the early lead and the early stages of the halfway part of this one. But Kromschroeder said, not yet, Cook. I'm not done with this one. Kromschroeder and Cook side by side, dicing it out of turn number 4. The battle for the front spot. The flying green is out. There's 2 left to go in this one. Do believe we got a shootout on the last 2 trips around in heat number 1 tonight for the Superstocks. Cook going to the low side, trying to go to work door to door. They'll now go out of turn number 4, looking for the white flag. 1 more time to go. Dexton Cook, your new leader, 68 thousandths of a second. With 1 to go, the final trip around the raceway tonight in heat number 1. Cook now jumps to the lead. When it all counted, the checkers go up in the air for him in 78K. Dexton Cook will win. Crossing the stripe in 4th, it's the Rockstar Andy Misquick in 27X. 3rd goes to the 18 of Kevin Schmidt. Dylan Kromschroeder led most of that race. Comes home 2nd in the number 9 car, and here's your race winner. Let's hear it for Dexton Cook in 78K. The winner out of Becker, Minnesota in the Espana Silk Express ATM Services, Gator Truck Center, Kim's Cleaning Service, Raleigh's Rednecks and Long Necks Digger Incorporated, and Adams on the side of the winner. Dexton Cook will take home the checkers in heat number 1 tonight for the Superstocks. Heat number 2 rolling out onto the raceway. Your pole sitter tonight in the number 21 car is Jim Gullickson. There's Gullickson out on the raceway in the Chubbs Performance Power number 21 out of Nowthen, Minnesota. To his outside, out of Bram, will be Jared Zimpel. Jared Zimpel in the Isle Automotive, sponsored number 27 out of Bram, starts second. Inside row 2, it is Diamond Dave Moss. Moss in the Shaw Trucking Structural Buildings, number 2. Moss out of East Bethel, Minnesota, going to go from the inside of row number 2. On the outside, you find Joel Schneider out of Moore in the 29 car. 29S of Joel Schneider in the Wayne Sanitation 29 starts outside row 2. Inside the third row tonight in the Lucky Farrier 7 Farrier Service. Number 7, he's out of Malacca, Minnesota. That'll be Josh Paulson. To Paulson's outside in the 7A in the West Metro Buick GMC 7A out of Rice, Minnesota is Shane Sobraski. Starting third on the inside of the final row tonight in the 12 car scheduled to start, not out on the raceway. That's DJ Keeler out of Superior, Wisconsin. We'll see if he makes it out onto the raceway or not. DJ Keeler scheduled to start on the inside of the final row tonight in the Dan's Feed Bin, number 12. And on the outside, your final starter in the 70X. That's Kurt Becken in car 70X. The KB Properties Sunmax Chubbs Performance Powered 70X, your final starter on the grid here tonight. Heat number 2, the second one for the Super Stocks, the final one of tonight's program in the heat races for the Super Stocks. Dave Moss on the inside of row number 2 tonight. The last 3 years in a row, he was the track champion here at Ogilvie in the Super Stocks. He's your defending Wissota national champion in the Super Stocks. Getting ready to turn him loose. Here we go, green flag. Underway in heat race number 2. The pole sitter going to the early advantage is Jim Gullickson in the 21 car. Gullickson followed by Dave Moss in 2 at the end of lap number 1. Gullickson out front by about a half of a second between him and Dave Moss in 2. About 2 car lengths separating 1 and 2. Back to Zimpel in the 27 car. Then comes Shane Sobraski in 7A. Paulson in the 7 car. Gullickson continues to lead this one by about a half a second between him and Dave Moss, who's running second. Not much change in the running order the way you see it here with 6 laps left to go. Make it 5. 5 remaining, almost halfway for Gullickson in car number 21. Your pole sitter has never looked back to this point. Dave Moss started from the inside of row number 2. Looked like the inside row number 1 and 2 on the inside, the best place to be. The flags are crossed now at the halfway markers. Your leader is the pole sitter, Jim Gullickson in 21. Gullickson followed by Moss. They're running 1 and 2 in heat number 2. Jared Zimpel next in 27. The 7A of Sobraski. The 7 of Josh Paulson. 70X is Kurt Becken. And 29 of Joel Snyder. DJ Keeler, a no start in heat race number 2, a no-show for the 12K car out of Superior. He'll have a chance to get back in for the feature event. We got a battle heating up for the front spot, though, with 2 remaining. Dave Moss takes a look at the inside of the raceway. He's going to go door to door. This is out of turn number 4 for the front spot. With 1 to go, you've got a new leader. Dave Moss in 2 takes the front spot away. Look out, Gullickson a little hard into turn number 2. Straightens it back up, just about skated to the wall in turn 2, but brings it back down. Checker is ready to fly. Dave Moss takes the win in 2. Crossing the line in 4th in the 7A car is Shane Sobraski. Finishing 3rd, Jared Zimpel in 27. The runner-up led most of the race, Jim Gullickson in 21, and your race winner. Get ready to make some noise. He's out of East Bethel, Minnesota. Dave Moss in 2 wins heat number 2. Your winner, sponsored by Shaw Trucking, North American Trailer, Bud's Auto Body, Elite Shock Service, Blaine Brothers, Second Generation Chimneys, Truck-A-Line, Speed Shop North, Hydraulic Specialty, Chubbs Performance, DK Designs, Host Stainless Services, Jim's Red Wing Shoes, Belstein Shock Absorbers by East Elite Shock Service, and Structural Buildings. For the winner, Dave Moss takes heat number 2 for the Super Stocks. Up next, the first of 3 heat races coming your way for the Wissota late models. Here they come. Your pole sitter tonight in the 7X car. He's out of Fall Creek, Wisconsin. That's Jesse Glenns. To Glenns outside, first time ever in a late model here at Ogilvie, and first time ever in the 2 car. He's out of Mora, Minnesota. That's Jeffrey Lean Jr. On the inside of row number 2, it's Dan Ebert in the 66 car out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. To Ebert's outside. Out of Nassau, Minnesota, it's the 50 driven by Jeff Wildung. Inside the 3rd row tonight in the 6M is Jeffrey Massengill out of Keewatin, Minnesota. On the outside from Herman, Minnesota, Dustin Bloom in 45 will start 6th. On the inside of the 4th row tonight out of Wahpeton, North Dakota will be Casey Meyer in 03. On the outside, John Canta, the sheriff out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin in 85, starts 8th. Inside the 5th row tonight out of Princeton, it's Joel Collins in 21. And your final starter tonight out of Boyceville, Wisconsin, that is Rick Hannestead in 71. So 12 times around, 10 cars. Top 18 from the heats transfer to the A feature. Passing points for the top 18. We'll go to the main here tonight. We'll also do the redraw for the top 8 right in front of the grandstand during intermission tonight. Excellent group of late models on hand here tonight. 29 of the best in the business here, ready to rumble at the Ogilvie Raceway. Night number 2 of the 11th annual Harvest Cup presented by Shaw Trucking. Great night to be at the races tonight. Heat race number 1 presented by Joe Provo Racewear. We're ready to go. So heat number 1 for the Wallach Construction Wissota Late Model Challenge Series under green. It's 12 trips around as they thunder out of turn number 4. Straighten them out at the end of lap number 1. It's Jesse Glenns in 7X. Glenns followed in the charge by Dan Ebert in 66. Jeffrey Lean Jr. in the 2 car. First time out ever in a late model. Wheels it around the 4th corner in the 3rd spot. Look out, the spin cycle for Jeffrey Lean Jr. Got a little sideways, turned the wrong way in the 2 car. Jeffrey Lean out of Mora, Minnesota. As we said, first time out ever in a late model for him. Loops it in turn number 2. The caution comes out. Heat race number 1 presented by Joe Provo Racewear. The winner of this heat will receive a $150 product certificate from Joe Provo Racewear. They're the sponsors of heat race number 1. Wallach Construction, the title sponsor of the Wissota Late Model Challenge Series. Associate sponsors are Richmond Gear and QA1. Partners of the series, Joe Provo Racewear and My Race Pass contingency sponsors. Thanks to Dirt Track Supply, Outpace Racing Products, and Speedworks Incorporated. So we're set to go. Jeffrey Lean Jr. takes the tail in the 2 car. Up in the front is your race leader, Jesse Glenns, on the point all by himself with 2 complete. Their double file, Delaware style on the restart. Back to the racing action out of turn 4. Jesse Glenns says, let's go. Back underway, Dan Ebert scoots off the base of the raceway after starting inside row number 2. A little bump and go out of turn number 3, but they straighten all things out. It's good as they head down the front straightaway. 2, 3, and 4. A good battle between Ebert, Massengill in 6, and Jeff Wildung in 50. Bloom in the 45, the Sheriff John Canta next. Meyer in the 03, it's Hannestead, followed by the 2 car of Jeffrey Lean and Joel Collins in 21. So he took the lead from the very beginning. He has never looked back, even surviving to the restart in the 7X. Your pole sitter out of Fall Creek, Wisconsin. Jesse Glenns shows the way in 7X. Dan Ebert almost 2 seconds behind, close to a full straightaway as we get ready for the crossed flags, yellow and green. Jesse Glenns will be halfway in Heat 1. So Jesse Glenns continues the quest for the checkers tonight in heat number 1, the first of 3 for the late models. Glenns chased by Ebert in 66. Ebert in a solid second by himself. About 2 seconds behind, another 2 back to a good battle, because here comes John Canna. Canna in the 85 car makes a break for it in turn number 3. 85 machine jumps into the top 3, gets by Massengill in the 6M. Behind him in 50 is Jeff Wildung. So Wildung drops back a spot, works to the low groove of the raceway, trying to take advantage of that one, but not quite happening for the 50 car. Wildung in 50 with Massengill in front, who just slammed the door shut. So Wildung says, I'll go to the high side this time. That didn't work either. But speaking of working, your race leader, Jesse Glenns, a little bit less of an advantage he's got right now than he did before, but it's still big enough, and huge, in fact, with 2 to go. Dan Ebert not quite 2 seconds behind in the 66 car. 85, John Canna in a solid third. Wildung still working on Massengill for 4th and 5th as the white comes up, this time by Jesse Glenns. Glenns with 1 to go in heat number 1. So as we said, passing points are the key. Jesse Glenns started first, gonna end first in 7. No passing points advantage for him, but he'll take the win. Crossing the line in 4th position is Jeffrey Massengill in 6M. 3rd will go to the 85 of John Canta. Your runner-up in 66 is Dan Ebert. And race fans, let's make some noise. Jesse Glenns in 7X, your race winner in heat number 1. He's out of Fall Creek, Wisconsin. He sits in the Mike Star Market, Dixon's Apple Orchard and Wedding Venue sponsored 7X. Jesse Glenns to the win in heat race number 1.